Right now, you are traveling through a dark, empty space at 67,000 miles per hour. You feel perfectly safe because a giant, invisible anchor is holding your world together. But that anchor just weakened. If the sun loses just 1% of its weight, there is no loud explosion, no warning sirens. Instead, the Earth silently breaks away from its normal path and begins sliding into a freezing, dark void. It instantly changes the rules for 8 planets, hundreds of moons, and trillions of tons of space rock. From a million-mile drift that turns continents into freezing ice sheets to a broken asteroid belt sending giant rocks crashing toward us. This is the exact timeline of a dying solar system. To understand what happens next, we have to look at how a planet stays in place. An orbit is like a giant game of tug-of-war. A planet is always trying to fly forward into deep space, while the sun's gravity is always pulling it back in. This perfect balance is what keeps Earth safe. The moment the sun loses 1% of its mass, its grip weakens instantly. Because the central pull drops, the forward speed of every single planet wins the tug of war. The entire solar system has to expand. Every planet, from hot Mercury to freezing Neptune, begins to slide outward. They are moving away from the center, drifting into wider, dangerous territory. For Earth, the math is simple. Our planet is normally 93 million miles away from the sun. A 1% drop in solar gravity forces us to drift outward by 1%. Suddenly, Earth is pushed nearly 1 million miles further into the freezing cold. As we drift away, our year gets longer. Because our new path is wider and the sun's pull is weaker, Earth takes more time to travel around the star. Our year is no longer 365 days. Time itself has stretched, and as the distance grows, the warmth we need to survive begins to disappear. As Earth settles into this new, wider path, humanity faces a quiet worldwide crisis. By moving 1 million miles away, the amount of heat and light reaching our ground drops significantly. The sun in the sky looks slightly smaller, but the drop in temperature is terrifyingly real. Within months, the weather completely breaks down. Earth is now scraping against the freezing outer edge of the safe zone where life can exist. Average temperatures drop fast. Places that used to have warm, sunny summers are suddenly hit with a permanent winter. The freeze starts at the poles. Massive ice sheets grow rapidly, moving down into Europe, Asia, and North America. Freezing ground locks up millions of acres of farmland. Food crops fail because the growing seasons shrink from months to just a few weeks. Our global weather systems depend entirely on heat from the sun to move around. With less heat entering the system, major ocean currents slow down. The weather becomes wild and unpredictable, hitting continents with severe droughts followed by massive freezing snowstorms. Humanity is forced to live in a world wrapped in ice. While Earth freezes, a much noisier disaster is happening in the outer solar system. The loss of the sun's mass doesn't just affect planets, it changes how the planets pull on each other. Jupiter and Saturn are giant worlds with massive gravity of their own. When the sun's dominant grip weakens, Jupiter's gravity suddenly becomes a much bigger bully. It begins to pull harder on everything around it. Sitting right between Mars and Jupiter is the asteroid belt, a ring filled with millions of rocks left over from the start of the solar system. Normally, the Sun and Jupiter work together to keep these asteroids locked in a safe, predictable ring. But with a lighter sun, that safety balance fails. Jupiter begins to stir up the asteroid belt. Space rocks that stayed in safe paths for billions of years are suddenly knocked out of line. They are thrown into wild, dangerous new paths that cut directly across the paths of Mars and Earth. The space around us is no longer empty. Our freezing, drifting Earth now has to travel through a minefield of giant rocks, turning the night sky into a display of terrifying shooting stars and starting a countdown to a major collision. Many centuries pass, and the solar system finally finds a new, quiet balance. The chaos stops, leaving behind a reality that is wider, colder, and much more lonely. Mercury and Venus are no longer boiling hot. They have cooled down under the weaker sun. Earth survives, but it is a world covered in white. A planet defined by massive glaciers and human civilizations forced to live underground to stay warm. This scenario shows us a scary truth about our lives. We like to think the universe is permanent and never changes. We live our lives assuming the sun and sky will always stay the same. But our survival does not depend on permanent rules. It depends on a highly delicate, fragile balance. A shift of just 1% is the difference between a beautiful, green home and a dark, frozen solar system drifting silently through deep space. We are alive today because that balance is holding, for now.